Well, good morning, class, and I'm so excited to be back. I know we took a summer break, and many of us were traveling, vacationing, and just enjoying the warm summer, and then busy out there servicing our clients. So we'll all have busy schedules with long hours during summer. So excited to be back here at Keller Williams and start this training with Powered by Ground. And today we're just going to have an introductory session where we're kind of going to just review the bigger picture, the vision, the goal of why we started this training here at this market center and what it has already accomplished in the last, I would say, 12 months. If you want actually more information, you can go to poweredbyground.com or you can actually stop by at our market center, and we have an office space in one of the wings. Powered by Ground is an education material that is focused on equipping brokers in new home sales. And I'd actually like to show you some slides today. The vision is that eventually our market center and your business can reflect new home sales. And that is truly the vision, that brokers be equipped, and once they are equipped in new home sales, they will actually be able to perform transactions in new home sales. Our mission is to equip brokers to a level that this becomes a specialty, where they're experienced and they're knowledgeable in this area to the point where the transactions are going very smooth. They're able to take the client from A to Z in a new home sales, and the customer can feel that the broker is fully equipped to do that. Our goal is that each of our businesses would truly eventually reflect the true market share of the market. And we talk a lot about this. If there's 35% in our market where there's new home sales, then our business should reflect the true market status. Our goal is also that we would be motivated, that we would change our mindset about new home sales and understand that it's a huge sector of our business. Many conferences and many marketing places that I have gone to use new home sales as their greatest marketing tool. They always sell new homes, new locations, new parks, new developments. It's a really strong marketing tool for your business. And also, brokers are in the business of networking. So our goal in Powered by Ground and in our office is to network around new home sales. You're networking with builders, you're networking with investors, you're networking with developers, you're networking with buyers and sellers who are thinking about new home sales. This is what we are doing. This is what Powered by Ground is, an education platform to equip you in new home sales. What is our approach? Education. And Keller Williams is huge on education. We believe in education, from solo broker to team development to new home sales to resell to distress. Without education, you cannot propel your business of going forward. And that is why we have created 7 steps on how to evolve your business in new home sales. And week by week, we're going to go through each category, dissect it, take it apart, put it back together. And if you have questions, you can send them to me or you can send me your comments, and I'm more than happy to reach out. And I'm actually very grateful that throughout the last year, a lot of brokers have come to us with questions. And what has that done? It has made them more available to serve their clients in a better way. I always said my dream was, when I started in real estate and drove through the communities, to have my name on a sign. On a big sign, not just a T sign, but a big sign like this, where your name is reflected on a community, on a product, on a new home sales. What's interesting is Powered by Ground was able to accomplish that for at least 3 brokers this year. 3 brokers, by the end of the year, will have their name in our community on a big sign. Why is this important? Well, you see a lot of T signs. You can see a lot of T signs with just regular brokers. But brokers who have their name on bigger signs means bigger value, bigger money, bigger influence, and bigger marketing. So I'm so excited that since last fall to this fall, there's 3 brokers, even in our market center, have been able to excel to that level in their business. They've considered new home sales. They started to understand that they have a book of new home sales, and they also understood that they want and are dreaming the same dream I once was dreaming, to have their name out there in the community and reflected on many layers. So yes, once you start working your avenue into new home sales, marketing and everything just goes to a next level. People capture you on so many greater levels. So what do we focus on? We talk about why new home sales. First, we all have to be convinced. What is it about new home sales that would be attractive to me? Maybe a particular builder, maybe a particular developer, maybe a particular investor. But if all of us look into our books of business, we will find that somewhere it overlaps with new home sales. I actually had a broker come up to me last fall and say, you know what, I used to work for a survey company. And I told her, guess what? A lot of survey companies work new home sales. This could be a phenomenal opportunity for you to bridge back and start talking to the survey company, and so forth. So it's amazing to see that other brokers have gone back and talked to their investors. And then when they find out that their investor has bought a parcel and is looking to develop it, and etc. But all of us, if we pay attention to our books of business, I bet you could find somebody who overlaps in new home sales. We talk about the engine. What keeps you driving in business? And this is so crucial because we know that the stats say 80% fall out within the first 5 years. What keeps you going? Exposure to the greater market, like we mentioned, like this sign and other factors that will help you be exposed in the greater market. We talk about culture. You should become a new home specialist. So when your clients ask you about buying a home, selling a home, you should become that specialist for your client. We talk about prospecting. How do you service your clients? How do you talk to them? How do you meet their needs? And we talk about levels of development. When you go from stage 1, a solo broker, maybe a team, and you eventually learn how to work accounts and servicing your clients on a greater needs. And then we talk about categories in new home sales. Why new construction? And I'm going to go back to the stats. The market is growing. Our market local is growing. All metro markets are growing. Counties and cities constantly rezone lots, land, homes. And the reason they do this is because of density. More people are living in metro cities, so they constantly have to change densities. Well, guess what? That means constantly there will be building happening. Constantly. Every time I go down any street, I could see something go up or something come down. There's always going to be building, and it's part of the industry. And if brokers make that part of their industry, they overlap with that pool of business that is available to them. We talk about the engine. We talk about commitment and setting goals. This is so crucial. Without goals, without dreams, without life mission, you're not going to get anywhere. And what's amazing is brokers that even came to this office many years ago are great players in the market now. They showed up, they wanted to become land developers. They eventually understood how land development works, and they own huge portfolios of land and lots in Clark County. There's other people like me who dream to have their name on a sign, and eventually my name became on a sign where we're selling new homes for builders and servicing the builder pool. And then life mission, what is it that you want to do for your greater life? And all of these aspects we cover here at the training with Powered by Ground. We talk about exposure, embracing different people group. We're so used to just working with buyers and sellers, which is great. But I mean, there's such a bigger market out there where we can be focusing not just on buyers and sellers, but different people group who love real estate, want to invest into real estate, want to make greater impact in their life and other people's lives that are associated in real estate. We talk about opportunities. Powered by Ground, and what we teach is there's so many more opportunities in new home sales. And you get to overlap with so many other people when you're in new home sales. Also, you're creating opportunities. When you're taking a piece of dirt that eventually there is nothing there, and you're building hotels, apartments, multifamily, starter homes, you're creating opportunities that were not there before. We talk about prospecting and servicing your clients. It's so important to service your clients and learn how to meet their needs. And working with builders, developers, investors, or buyers who are buying new homes, yes, you have to equip yourself with new service skills. But that's what we're in real estate for, is providing services to our clients. And how are you going to provide services? Well, we have to equip ourselves with more servicing skills, and then we can equip others with those skills. And it's amazing. A lot of people in the last year have approached us and asked a lot of various questions. What's the zoning of this? What's the zoning of that? And people ask these questions because now we're equipping other brokers, and those brokers can go and equip their clients and help them and gear them and direct them in the direction that they need to go. So prospecting is very huge. Powered by Ground, and like we talked about, the many developments that can take place as you are personally developing yourself. So we start with being a salesperson, where you're just helping facilitate a transaction. That is really your goal. You're trying to take a person from A to B. You're facilitating a transaction. Then you become a sales manager, where you're not only facilitating a transaction, you're focusing on management. You're managing skills. You're managing people. You're managing processes. And now you're slowly becoming an account manager. Once you become a sales, and we talked that each category takes about 2 years of development. So you can become a really good salesperson within 2 years. You learn how to take transactions from A to B. Then same thing with sales manager. You learn how to take processes. You learn how to hire right people, or the good contractors or the bad contractors in the market. Then you become an account manager, where you're taking another tier. Usually this involves finance, where you're helping people not just through processes, but you're actually helping people make money. And that's why it leads you to the next tier, is investors. Because once you become a good account manager, you yourself will start investing into the market. And a lot of brokers ask me, how do I become an investor in the market? This is how. You slowly equip yourself with different skills, and you work your way up to an investor. Nobody's born an investor. Everybody becomes an investor. And if you follow any of the investor gurus, as I would say it, they eventually started kind of through this process. They usually became a salesperson. Then they would manage well. Then they would manage for certain people or certain builders or certain investors. And then eventually, they slowly themselves get into the market. They become investors. They become partners. They become equity partners. And that's what we want to train. And the reason we want to train this is if you learn these skills, then your clients, that's how you service your clients. The more skills you have, the more services we can offer. We'll also talk about the processes, like the management processes, going from land acquisition. And it's interesting to find that from land, there's usually 2 paths in land acquisition. Once you take a piece of land, and we're going to talk about this more and more, there's usually 2 directions that a piece of dirt goes. It either goes residential or either goes commercial. So I always say, if you look at the parking lot just in front of us, or here in our area of our market center, our parking lot is a lot. But when you look at it, what's its next direction? So from land acquisition, we go to land development. Since we're in a mixed commercial use, most likely if you wanted to build something on that lot, it's going to be of higher density. So land usually goes two directions. Either it's going to go into the residential world or it's going to go into your commercial world. And that's what we help, that's the feasibility study that we help on learning. It's just like you learning to do a CMA. When you came into real estate, if I ask you what's the house value of ABC home on Main Street, 123 Main Street, you'd be like, I have no idea. And then you'd be like, well, I got to go learn how to do a CMA. Right, so you go into an MLS and you learn. You're learning how to do a feasibility study on behalf of your client. Yes, everybody can go on Zillow and Redfin, but your client really wants to know their true market value, and that's why we learn how to do a CMA. Then, you go under contract and there's inspections, and then you get a 35R with 10 inspection responses from the buyer, and you're like, oh, we got to change the roof. Oh, we got to do this. So now you as a broker, you're learning a lot of skills just on a traditional transaction. The same thing with new home sales. When you get into new home sales, yes, you're not going to know a lot of things, but eventually you learn to learn a lot of things. You learn how to assess land in acquisition. You start to understand land development, kind of the next phase of what happens from a lot to time frames, infrastructure, utilities. That's all that has to do with land development. Then we talk about building the product. Is it a single family? Is it a condo? Is it a townhome? What are we building on this lot? What is the product? And we talk about product, and I always say you only need to know about 15% of the product to sell it. You don't need to know everything about new home sales. I was at the parade yesterday. I didn't have to know all the manufacturers of the windows and the flooring. But when I looked at it, if I can understand 15 to 20% of the product, they say you could become a really good salesperson. And then we go to sales management. We talk about how to deliver your product to the market. Yes, putting it into the MLS is great, but that is just a beginning point. You have to provide so many more resources when you go to sales management. How do you deliver product to the consumer? What does your consumer want to experience when they're looking at your product? And so forth. So this is all that has to take into consideration sales management. And that's what we here want to train. We want to train brokers who understand all of these processes or some of these processes. And again, you don't have to understand them all at once. This is a process of land development that we talk about also. So if you just start with a property and you go that direction, and you can see the dollar signs increase, that means that every stage of land development, your value proposition of land should be going up if you really know what you're doing, if you understand the whole processes. But there is a lot of value, and we talk about this in our training, in land acquisition. So I just want to go back to our training and approach. We believe in training. We understand that training is what takes you from one level to another. And this is why we develop Power by Ground. But we did not just develop Power by Ground. We're creating so many other things inside of our market center to develop culture. We'll have the symposiums. We're going to have builder showcases. We have home tours. All of this stuff, all of these activities are created that brokers can become exposure to the greater market, can be exposed to new home sales. And we say go to the open houses, go to the model homes of the builders that are local. Understand national builders, understand local builders. These people, these builders are not, they're not leaving the market. I've been in the industry almost 20 years, and all I could say is the national builders have come to stay. And all the national builders that I have talked to, they're actually looking to increase the volume of homes they're building each year. So if they're building 100 homes, they want to go to 150 next year. So that means they're all here to stay and grow their businesses. Well, we have an opportunity to grow our businesses with their businesses. If we apply strategy, if we apply our skills, if we understand how new home sale comes to be. So, couple takeaways. Couple takeaways. All of us should be committed to personal growth. That should be your takeaway. And Keller Williams is huge on that, and so are we here at Powered by Ground and at Keller Williams New Home Sales Division. We want to see brokers grow, and if they grow, their businesses will grow also. We have value proposition. We are building our showroom here at the office, and the reason we're building that is that brokers can stop by and see carpet, see tile, see millwork, see hardware, see light fixtures. All of these things that have to do with new home sales. See plats. What is a land that goes from nothing, from a piece of 1 acre into 10 homes? How does that process take place? We want to make that resource available in our showroom. Another takeaway is that new home sales, whether you like it or not, is here to stay. I had another broker this year come up and say, hey, an investor and a builder want me to represent them. How do I go about it? We started looking at the portfolio, the business, the account. There was potential probably at least 20 transactions for her awaiting her if she wanted to take on that business. So yes, you will have to be flexible and work your way into that business. And like we said, when the market is represented by 33% or 30% of new home sales, you as a broker should have your business. Our business is ran a little higher. We do a lot more new homes than resale and distress, but at least you should go from 0 to 5% or 0 to 10%. You have to work your way into it. It's not an aspect of if, it's an aspect of when. When are you going to take your business into new home sales? Our goal is to partner with as many brokers as we can, and throughout even the last 12 months, we are excited to, we'll have testimonials on our podcast and other places where you can hear the brokers that have started to look in this direction. Their business has changed on many levels. Brokers that have decided to pivot their business are seeing more transactions. And what is the greatest issue, I guess, of the market today is inventory. Where are we going to get it? This is one of the pool of where we're going to get inventory, is new home sales. Ask questions. I've often told about this example. When I started in real estate, I had no idea what I was doing. I often say I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'm still doing something. And one of the things I did before even podcast was around or anything, I just took a piece of paper and pen and I interviewed every broker that I could see every day at that RE/MAX office. If a broker came in, I said, you got 20 minutes? I'll sit down, I'll grab a piece of paper, and I'll just ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. We are here for you to ask questions. Just come up, call us, talk to us, send us a message. But we are here so you can ask questions. And once you have answers to your questions, you'll be able to answer those questions for your clients. It's a ripple effect. A lot of the questions that were answered to me when I started in real estate, I was able to relay the same answers to my clients. And that's what produced transactions. And I say, show up. Show up is so crucial. A lot of business is created because you're in a certain place or you've met some people. Show up. Show up to events. Show up to training. Show up to the symposiums. Show up and get to meet people. The last symposium we did, there's probably 10 builders here, like 20 builders in our hallway. We probably had 90 brokers in this room. And when the brokers collaborated with other salespeople, builders, developers, it's amazing that business was cultivated out of that. And I can actually put a finger on transactions that were cultivated because people showed up. If you show up at a show house of New Tradition or other Lennar, DR, or Toll Brothers, if you just go to their showroom, if you just learn about their product, The minute you have a customer in that zip code looking for a home and you know information about their product, increases your chances of creating a transaction. By what? By showing up. So show up, put it on your calendar, put it on your schedule to be at these trainings every Friday. We're actually going to be also opening a new series of trainings on every Tuesday. We call it the Pie of Real Estate. We're going to talk about distressed new homes, and we're going to be talking about resale. Why? Because you're going to, in your real estate career, be approached by all of these transactions. And our goal is to have a wholesome approach in our business and our personal life, because that's what's going to help our businesses grow. So I hope that you can come here next Friday, and every week at 9 a.m. here we're going to be starting our training and masterminding and discussing the opportunities that are available in new home sales. Thank you for your time.